From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. We still got some big time weather stories to talk about, specifically the snow, like 40 inches of it for our Cascade passes over the next 5 days. The gusts coming back for today and tonight, not as strong as they were for yesterday morning. And the river flooding still kind of hanging around, although it's not as impactful as it was for last week. All right, current conditions out there. It is a little bit blustery for the Blues, not really seeing that for the Cascades or lower elevations, but that will change later in the day. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 20s for the Cascades, and 30s for the Blues. Still tracking snow for the Cascades, snow for the Blues. We're keeping a very close eye on the valleys. Our radar algorithm still has us as rain in the Yakima Valley and really nothing getting down to the valley floor of the Kittitas Valley. So we'll continue to track that very closely. Taking it back to the Tri-Cities, your umbrella cast for this Thursday. Yeah, you're going to need it pretty much all throughout the day. So for today, for lower elevations, 40s and 50s, that chance of a wintry mix before 1 p.m. for the valleys. But I'll have a lot more to say about the wind gusts for today and tonight coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, rivers are cresting again as high water and strong winds hit the Yakima Valley. We have the latest on the damage, the power outages, and the shift to recovery, as well as what emergency officials are telling residents what they should expect next.
Plus, the Port of Benton approves its 2026 budget. Coming up, we'll break down the numbers and what it means for taxpayers.
And new developments at Ben Franklin Transit as questions are raised about workplace culture. Coming up, we're going to break down the response following employee concerns about leadership. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Thursday, December 18th, and Josh has been busy.
Very busy. I hope he's getting enough sleep.
Are you getting enough sleep, Josh? That's a big thumbs down from the Weather Center.
Oh, no. But he's got all the weather information. He's been doing a great job of it.
Yes.
We'll have that later on in the newscast, but we do want to get into your top stories, and we're starting off with continuing coverage in the Yakima Valley, which has been through a lot over the past 2 weeks with flooding and those high winds.
Yeah, so now Apple Valley News Now's Natalie Keller tells us about the recovery efforts and a few problems that's still in the way.
As the Yakima Valley faces cresting rivers this week and damage from high winds the last couple of days, Director for Emergency Management Tony Miller says the situation is ramping down.
We're starting to go into our recovery part. We had our response, ramp up response, and now we're starting to move into our recovery.
Some issues still remain. Miller says crews are addressing more than 4,000 power outages, and at least 4 homes sustained damage from the wind. He also says rivers are set to crest again by the end of the week. With these conditions, he says one thing is necessary.
Patience. If you do need resources, reach out.
Miller says we won't know the full extent of the damage for several weeks.
With all this extra water that's been flowing through the Yakima Valley recently, one question that's been floating around is whether it can be captured and used for irrigation. I spoke with Chad Stewart from the Bureau of Reclamation, and he says yes and no.
We are actively capturing a lot of water that's coming into the system, but there's also a lot of water coming into the Yakima Basin that we can't capture that is below the reservoirs.
Stewart says the reservoirs have gained a significant amount of water over the past 10 days. Whether it'll be enough to avoid a 4th year of drought, that's up in the air. From Yakima, Natalie Keller, Apple Valley News Now.
And Stewart says the Bureau of Reclamation is working on some solutions to capture more floodwater in the future.
Yeah, as recovery efforts continue to unfold, we'll of course bring you the very latest developments.
6:04 now to a follow-up this morning as the General Counsel for Ben Franklin Transit is now responding after the Chief Executive Officer, Thomas Strotz, came under fire by employees at a board meeting last Thursday night. Jeremy Bishop says he's overseeing an independent external investigation about the governance concerns. He says BFT takes concerns about workplace culture seriously and will address them according to their policies and procedures. Bishop says they are committed to making improvements where it's needed, which includes having having multiple pathways to raise concerns without fear of retaliation, reinforcing their standards of conduct and strengthening communication.
Talking money now, the Port of Benton is moving forward with its 2026 budget, outlining major investments while keeping taxes in check.
Apple Valley News Now's William Albert spoke with port officials about the budget and how it could impact the Richland community.
The Port of Benton's 2026 budget is officially approved, and leaders say it's designed to balance long-term growth and be fiscally responsible. The spending plan was finalized this month and includes a projected $186,000 surplus, while also lowering the property tax levy rate for the 8th consecutive year. Port officials say the budget focuses on maintaining existing assets while investing in key infrastructure projects across Benton County. Port leaders say public input plays a major role in shaping how the budget comes together.
Use the Port's commission meetings to provide another opportunity for public input.
Officials with the Port of Benton tell me that this is one of the most conservative budgets that have ever been proposed. And they tell me that a big focal point for the 2026 budget is further developing their land assets, like their rail facility.
Port officials say keeping taxes low remain a priority even as they continue investing in major projects.
Overall 19% reduction since 2019. This brings us to a 22-year low in property taxes. And it's really critical for us on putting those tax dollars as much as possible towards capital projects.
Those projects include airport improvements such as lighting, pavement maintenance, and apron upgrades at the Richland Airport, along with rail infrastructure improvements designed to increase capacity and extend the life of the port's rail system. However, Howard says while funding is in place, many projects still need to go through the contracting and bidding process.
Same thing with the airports. We need to get the contract first. We'll have to have a public process to put it out to bid, to hire a contractor. So it'll easily transition. It'll probably be a carryover, both projects, all projects, from 26 and 27 if they're not completed.
Port officials say the goal moving forward is continuing economic growth while staying physically responsible. In Richland, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And for more information on the full 2026 Port of Benton budget, you can head to our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
And still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A major announcement from the office of Congressman Dan Newhouse. After more than a decade of representing Central Washington, he says he's done. Coming up, we're going to hear what sparked the decision, taking you to Capitol Hill after the break.
But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino, your premier gaming destination. Experience the thrill of a Vegas-style casino featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and unlock exclusive rewards every time you play. Challenge your skills at our 16-lane bowling alley. Unwind with a drink at our cozy bar, or enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Last Frontier. The ultimate entertainment experience has something for everyone. Nob Hill Casino, where locals come to win.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess, nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
There's no place like home for the holidays.
And there's no better time to save on furniture and mattresses than right now during Walker's Friends and Family Sale.
Get the furniture you like at the prices you'll love, with some clearance items up to 70% off.
Or take advantage of 5-year special financing with no money down.
And remember, Walker's is where
quality just costs less.
More family to yours. Merry Christmas! We're forging the future of the city of Pasco, and we need your voice. The city is updating our comprehensive plan, which covers everything from housing and transportation to utilities and parks. This document showcases the vision of what we want Pasco to be in 2046 and beyond. Tell us about the type of businesses you'd like to see, the types of parks you'd like to visit, and the type of neighborhood you want to live in. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit pasco-wa.gov/comp plan and become part of the future.
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's, before we talk about the gusts, I do want to touch on the pass conditions real quick. I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass, snowy and slushy, no change required. And then traction tires are now being advised for US 12 at White Pass, where we are seeing compact snow and ice. And then we'll take you over to Oregon 204 at Tollgate, where there are spots of ice and traction tires are advised. But these passes are going to look much worse over the next 5 days with all the snow that's in the forecast, especially up in the Cascades. All right, now let's talk about the wind gusts that we'll have for today and tonight. Not as strong as what we saw yesterday, but still they'll be noticeable out there. So it is a little bit blustery this morning for the Blues, not so much for lower elevations of the Cascades, but trust me, folks, this will change as the day progresses. So once again, these winds are going to have a southerly, at times a southwesterly component to them, and it's especially going to be into this evening for the foothills and for the mountains. That's where we'll see the strongest gusts, and it'll still be breezy on a Friday and Saturday, but not as blustery as what we'll see for tonight. Of course, you can see hour-by-hour wind gusts for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app free in the App Store or on Google Play. And just a little summation of what we just talked about for today. Not much doing for the valleys, but 25 to 40 mile per hour gusts for the basin and the foothills. Then for tonight, all of us seeing those gusts anywhere between 30 to 45 miles per hour. The strongest stuff being in the foothills and the mountains. Speaking of the mountains, the Cascades about to get blasted with snowfall. We'll time this out with Futurecast, and we'll talk about a little bit of ice in the mix as well. So all that's coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 12 minutes after 6, I'm looking at Capitol Hill now. We first brought you the story as breaking news just yesterday. Congressman Dan Newhouse saying that his time in Washington, D.C. is coming to an end.
The Republican representing Washington's 4th Congressional District announcing yesterday he will not be seeking re-election in 2026. Newhouse won his 6th term last year, narrowly defeating Trump-endorsed challenger Jared Sessler.
Now, a third-generation farmer in the Yakima Valley, he has represented Central Washington in the U.S. House for more than a decade after serving in state and local government. State Senator Matt Bienke of the 8th Legislative District praised Newhouse's service and his impact on the region while telling us that he is considering whether to run.
He set us up for success, and I think it matters to a lot of people that we continue that success. We don't back down from a lot of people, and we need to have somebody as a leader that has that experience to go forth and then fight on that global stage and then fight for us here in Eastern Washington.
In a statement, Newhouse said the decision comes with no reservations or remorse and tells Apple Valley News Now it was just time.
Newhouse says that he plans to continue serving the district with energy and enthusiasm through the end of his term, as attention now turns to who will fill the open seat in 2026.
6:13 and looking to state legislature news now, where the 2026 Washington legislative session begins in less than 1 month.
Just yesterday, Tri-City area leaders met to discuss what's important for lawmakers to prioritize. Our crews were there, and this morning we break down what local leaders decided heading into the new year.
A total of 7 priorities were discussed during the luncheon on Wednesday at the Red Lion Hotel in Pasco.
Together, what we do over the last several months is meet with nonprofits, businesses, city leaders, port leaders, to really focus on what are the key priorities for economic development and overall prosperity for the Tri-Cities.
So for year 2026, the priorities include the City of Richland urban area legislation, Energy Northwest's clean energy investments, the City of Pasco's basic law enforcement academy, Children's Developmental Center facility expansion, Tri-City's outer loop transportation study, Port of Pasco infrastructure initiatives, and last but not least, the Atlas Agro Green Fertilizer Incentive Program.
I think it's a great opportunity for us to really speak with one voice on behalf of the Tri-Cities when we bring everyone together.
The Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce organized the luncheon. Some of the guests included Kennewick's Mayor Gretel Crawford, Pasco City Councilman Leo Perales, and Senator Matt Banky.
Continue working to fight to keep our dams, keep our irrigation. We're talking about irrigation water here. Water is a key component to our district up and down. And then you got to make sure we're doing the due diligence of having that infrastructure in a regional effort. So bringing in the 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th legislative districts, we're all going to go fight.
With the legislature in a short session, the pressure is on. And when it comes to the statewide budget, a major deficit is something Tri-City area leaders also have to keep in mind.
Some would say crisis when it comes to our budget, and so there are going to be some really tough decisions that are going to be on the shoulders of our legislators. So today is an opportunity to bring them together, talk about what we think they should really hyper-focus on.
Now, the short 60-day session starts Monday, January 12th, and is scheduled then to adjourn around March 12th.
And we'll keep you updated when that comes. All right, keep it here because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh Colbreth is back with how your weather is looking. It's all coming up in that full First Alert weather forecast. We're talking everything: winds, rain, flooding.
We're not talking sunshine and rainbows.
Sadly. He's going to break it all down in just a few minutes.
It's beginning to look a lot like savings during the holiday sale at Furniture Row. Stop in today because everything is on sale. Plus, get 48 months, no interest financing. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. Happy holidays from Furniture Row.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, featuring Bronco and Bronco Sport with standard 4x4 capability. Great time to buy. Gather round and discover how Goat Modes goes over any type of terrain. Like rocks. And over snowy hills. It's a winter wonderland. That's Wander with an A.
Lease a Bronco Sport for $299 a month for 36 months, or a Bronco for $369 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
It's the holiday sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, everything is on sale. Save $50 on every $500 you spend on qualifying products. And get 48 months, no interest, no down payment, and free shipping. The holiday sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
A new head coach and a new attitude, but it's still the most exciting game in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh my!
Seattle Kraken Hockey.
That's hockey, baby!
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Next live, Fran Drescher from Marty Sabrine, and it's Eat, Drink, and Be Merry Week with the Gelman family.
I can't believe Gelman is allowing this much seasoning in his food.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Happy holidays from Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. See that little squiggle in front of the 40? That means approximately 40 inches of snow for Cascade Passes from 4 a.m. on Thursday to 4 a.m. on Tuesday. But if it's 35 inches, if it's 32 inches, I mean, what's really the difference at that point? We're going to see chain requirements. We're going to see pass closures. Okay, several rounds of rain and snow obviously on the horizon because we have all these storm systems that are lined up in the Pacific. So for this morning, already seeing some steady snowfall up in the Cascades. The same thing for the Blues. We're keeping a very close eye on the valleys where this morning looks like it's just been light rainfall in the Yakima Valley. And it looks like nothing has really made it down to the Kittitas Valley. We'll continue to keep close tabs on that. Let's put the rest of the next 48 hours into motion with Futurecast radar. And this is going to be one of those days where I just kind of press play and step back, as it's just going to be a constant onslaught of moisture. But you'll notice less and less and less blue on the map because snow levels will temporarily come up, but then they'll drop right back down. And that is going to give way to just multiple rounds of snowfall in the Cascades throughout the day on Friday evening into Saturday morning, and we have a lot more to go after that. But that little time frame where things transition to rain, that's when things are going to transition to freezing rain up in the Cascades. That would be today from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're traveling over our passes for today, you say, you know what, it doesn't even look like it's snowing out here. It looks like the pavement's just wet. Just assume that the pavement is icy and not wet. Okay, and then in terms of the snowfall from this morning through Sunday afternoon, around 30 inches of snow for Snoqualmie Pass and White Pass, 12 inches of snow for Tollgate, 11 inches of snow for Blewett Pass, and that just gets us through Sunday afternoon, because Sunday afternoon through Tuesday morning, maybe another foot of snow for our Cascade passes. So if you're venturing over to the west side over the next 5 days, have the tire chains, have the winter safety kit ready to go. Also, the flooding potential hasn't 100% gone away yet, as still until 4 p.m. on Thursday, we see that minor flooding for the Natchez River at Natchez, and then 4 a.m. on Friday to 10 p.m. on Sunday. That would be for Kiona. And so we'll have more to say about that during the next half hour. 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely today, less so for Friday and Saturday, then wet again by Sunday. In Yakima, perhaps a wintry mix before 10 a.m., then maybe a chance of freezing rain overnight. For Ellensburg, several chances of snow over the next week. Accumulations probably less than an inch. For Hermiston, many chances of wet weather over the coming days as we gradually trend colder. And then for Walla Walla, rain likely today and Friday. A bit drier by Saturday, but wetter again on Sunday.
Burr, some of those temperatures are really dropping. Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
I just want a week of nothing. That would be really nice. But
so like May or June?
Sunshine.
That might happen.
I've been thinking about spring a lot, yeah. But this comes with the territory in the Pacific Northwest, and grand scheme, this is excellent news for the drought.
Yes, that is very true.
Yes.
All right. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, Spielberg is back, and we've got a first look at Steven Spielberg's next big screen project. The trailer is out for his mysterious new sci-fi film, and what it reveals is raising some big questions among film buffs. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in your entertainment news after the break.
Looking for a used vehicle? Trust the dealer with over 60 years in the Tri-Cities, Overturf Volkswagen. Find a large expanded inventory, fully serviced and thoroughly reconditioned vehicles, on-the-spot financing, top dollar for your trade. Overturf Volkswagen, Kennewick.
To me, Harlem is home. But home is also your body.
Last one, everyone.
I asked myself, why doesn't Pilates exist in Harlem? So I started my own studio. Getting a brick and mortar in New York is not easy. Chase Inc. has supported us from Studio 1 to Studio 3.
When you start small, you need some big help, and Chase Inc. was that for me.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Look and feel your best this holiday season with special pricing on Botox and fillers at Prosser Memorial Health's Dermatology Center in Benton City. Smooth, fine lines, add natural-looking volume, and step into every celebration with confidence. We also offer a full range of dermatology services and products to keep your skin healthy year-round. To schedule your appointment, call 509-588-4555 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. Happy holidays.
Okay, there's the signal.
Okay, hurry, he's coming. Have a good round.
See you later.
All right.
What's that?
Toolbox.
Okay. Santa's way sneakier.
Wrap up the holiday season with your Tri-City Americans. The Ants take on the Portland Winterhawks on Saturday, December 27th at 6:05 p.m. Then it's Wednesday, December 31st for our New Year's Eve rivalry game against the Spokane Chiefs at 6:05. Grab your tickets at the Toyota Center box office or Ticketmaster.com.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Looking for a used vehicle? Trust the dealer with over 60 years in the Tri-Cities, Overturf Volkswagen. Find a large expanded inventory, fully serviced and thoroughly reconditioned vehicles, on-the-spot financing, top dollar for your trade. Overturf Volkswagen, Kennewick.
Have a great Hanukkah from all of us at Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines, a sexual assault lawsuit against rocker Marilyn Manson by his former personal assistant, Ashley Walters, has been thrown out.
Here's what we know so far. A Los Angeles County judge ruled that Walters' allegations that Manson used his position to victimize her during her employment in 2010 and 2011 fall outside the statute of limitations. All this despite Walters' attorney's argument that trauma kept her from coming forward sooner with those allegations.
More than a dozen women have accused Manson of abuse. Many of the cases have been settled or dismissed, and Manson's lawyers have maintained his innocence.
In more entertainment news, the Oscars are moving from broadcast TV to streaming starting in 2029.
Yeah, this is big news. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences announcing just yesterday that they've signed a multi-year deal with YouTube. It gives the streaming platform exclusive global rights to the Oscars ceremony.
Yeah, the move signifies a shift in the media industry as streaming platforms like YouTube and Netflix gain power from veteran broadcast stations. For decades, the Oscars have aired right here on ABC, which is owned by Disney.
ABC will continue to air the awards through 2028, and the Academy's streaming deal with YouTube runs through 2033.
All right, and finally, the first trailer for Steven Spielberg's mysterious new sci-fi film is out. It's called Disclosure Day, and it stars Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor.
The movie's plot has not yet been revealed, but in the first look, it seems to be about some sort of alien invasion being disclosed to the world.
And look, there's Josh right there. Disclosure Day is set to hit theaters next summer. It looks good. I don't know.
You said you've seen the whole trailer. I haven't seen any of it.
I saw a little snippet of it because I saw that Emily Blunt was a meteorologist. I was like, I'll check this out.
Diving in.
And what does she say in the trailer?
She says it's Disclosure Day or something like that.
You gotta try that for your forecast.
Spooky.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Looks good.
I know. And yeah, good cast too. So, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The major upgrades to a Yakima family shelter. Coming up, the new renovations supporting long-term services and how one grant made all the difference.
Plus, a holiday surprise at Cadlick Regional Medical Center, the Canine Parade bringing smiles this holiday season. We've got the good boys and girls coming up in your next half hour.
I've got 2 words for you. Jack Pack. All my faves for just $6 with your choice between 2 delicious sandwiches. My work here is done. Get my $6 Jack Pack or my munchies under $4.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Apple Valley News Now's Christmas Wish is coming to an end for 2025. But before it wraps, we want to acknowledge and thank Idaho Community Credit Union, IBEW Local 112, Chinook Home Healthcare, and Yokes Fresh Market. Also, a big thank you to viewers who submitted names of people in our communities who need help. Because of these efforts, many families had a much merrier Christmas and will start the new year a bit better off. Christmas Wish from Apple Valley News Now. See you next year.
During this special season, trust Apple Valley News Now and ABC for an awesome lineup of magical holiday shows with favorites from Disney plus more. It's all proudly sponsored by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Lifetime Dental is committed to providing the best dental care in the Tri-Cities by treating patients like family, as well as providing a healthy work-life balance for the team. Hear what their doctors have to say.
I think developing that relationship with a patient is where you get the trust. And then with the trust is when you can really kind of build on these treatment plans and provide the best care for them so that the outcome is most predictable and that they're the most satisfied. I think my passion kind of more stems from the problem-solving aspect of dentistry. So I really like getting complex patients that need a lot of different needs and kind of figuring out a plan that incorporates like good dentistry to kind of solve their problems. I think I just get that emotional recharge from just kind of spending quality time with family. So my 2 girls and then my wife. So we try and get out of the house and get up in the mountains or go to the beach and just kind of do quality things together. And that's kind of where I get my most recharge from, for sure.
Lifetime Dental Care, located at Queensgate, voted best dentist in the Tri-Cities 9 times.
Hey, looks like I've decided to do nothing again. It's worked so far, except I still don't have a car.
Now's the time. The final countdown is almost over. Do nothing and you get nothing. Or come in, take advantage of incredible year-end deals, and drive into the new year in a vehicle you'll love. Find your deal today during McCurley's final countdown and the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event at McCurley Subaru.
McCurley, here I come.
You feel that? Feeling Purdy Patton presence for the red and gold. Feeling Jonathan Taylor and the Colts trying to charge down the stretch.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
49ers, Colts, Monday Night Football at 5 on Apple Valley News Now.
You know you want a burger, so make it my Smash Jack. Rated the best burger in fast food. It's even got more beef than a Big Mac. Chin up, Ronald. Maybe you'll get a participation trophy. My Smash Jack combos are still on top.
Welcome to Doc in the Box.
From our family to yours, happy holidays.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Thursday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Josh, you okay?
Yes.
We're just,
hanging in there.
checking. We know there's a lot going on, lots of active weather.
Check.
The under eye circles are getting a little bit darker, but it's all worth it. Love serving the people of this community. And there is so much weather
There's
so much weather to talk about over the next 7 days. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, like maybe 40 inches of snow for a Cascade Passes over the next 5 days.
That's it?
That's all. That's all I'm tabulating. So definitely some dangerous travel to the west side, especially as the holiday travel starts to become more and more prevalent. Gusty for today and tonight, and then also that river flooding has not been entirely put to bed just quite yet. For now, we're going to focus in on the winds for today and tonight. Not as gusty as it was yesterday, but still this morning you see already the Battle Mountain Summit on US 395 in southern Umatilla County, seeing gusts up around 40 miles per hour. We put this in motion with Futurecast, and once again, these gusts are going to pick up out of the south. There's going to be a little bit of a southwesterly component to this as well. And it's really going to be into this evening for the foothills and for the mountains. That's where we're going to see the strongest stuff. And then into Friday morning, it's still going to be breezy. It'll be breezy for the rest of the day on Friday into Saturday as well. But the strongest gusts, the strongest time frame going to be for today and especially for tonight. So for today, gusts between 25 to 40 miles per hour for the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Pendleton, and Walla Walla. But for tonight, all of us seeing gusts between 30 to 45 miles per hour. But again, the strongest gusts going to be for the foothills and for the mountains. Okay, I'll have a lot more to say about the river flooding potential. It's lower compared to last week, but it's still not zero. And so that'll be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 6:32. We begin this half hour of news in Yakima, where the Triumph Treatment Center has reopened one of its family emergency shelters following a major renovation that began earlier this year. Now, thanks to a nearly $1 million grant from the Housing Preservation Program, they're opening their doors. Triumph Treatment Center not only providing substance use disorder treatment, but also vital housing programs for families in need. The shelter on Yakima Avenue has 16 rooms with 12 designated for emergency shelter stays, lasting 30 to 90 days. Since taking ownership in 2008, the facility required more than cosmetic updates.
This grant allowed us to give a great refresh to the shelter, but more important than simple refreshing like the paint and the floors and new lighting, we're able to address some structural issues to make sure that we have the shelter for long term. New roof, new HVAC, improved plumbing, things like this.
So though the shelter is fully booked now, Triumph encourages families in need to reach out to them as availability can change quickly. And we have all of their contact information up on our website.
6:34 and making a difference this morning. Cadlick Regional Medical Center is getting a dose of holiday cheer with a little help from some four-legged friends. K9 teams from Cadlick, Providence St. Mary, Providence Sacred Heart, and Benton County all paraded through the hospital, decked out for the holidays. The dogs sported some festive gear, everything from Santa hats to holiday bandanas, and it turned a routine morning into a moment of joy for people who may be spending the holidays in the hospital.
Nobody likes to be in the hospital, especially this time of year during the holidays. So if we can walk around and give the patients and visitors something to smile about, that's what it's all about.
The parade also highlights the strong partnership between local hospitals and K9 teams who often serve the community in high-stress situations year-round. All right, keep it here because coming up next, we're talking sports and a key piece of the Seattle Kraken. From expansion pick to team leader, we'll take a look at Vince Dunn's impact on the ice.
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
The Kia Season of New Tradition sales event is going on now at Overturf Kia. Get an additional rebate when you purchase any new 2025 Nero, Seltos, Sorrento, Sportage, or select Tellurides in stock, including hybrid and PHEV models. Get a 2025 Telluride EX X-Line all-wheel drive for just $46,617 and 0.9% for 60 months. Overturf Kia, Highway I-182 and Road 100 exit on St. Thomas Drive, Pasco.
At State Fair Park, the lights will glow. A shimmering, glittering holiday show. The 6th annual Drive-Through Light Fest, a joyous sight. Presented by Giza Credit Union, all merry and bright.
From December 12th through the 21st, load up the sleigh with family and friends from 5 to 9 p.m. each night to see Santa, Cindy Lou, the Grinch, and more. Enjoy miles of lights and themed displays with hot cocoa and treats available for purchase. Tickets are available for purchase at the gate or online at statefairpark.org.
Good Shepherd provides the most up-to-date orthopedic care available. Our team of experienced board-certified surgeons and podiatrists are capable of fulfilling your orthopedic needs. Services include precise joint replacements, sports medicine, all orthoscopic shoulder and knee repairs, fracture care, hand surgery, and foot and ankle care. We are here to help you with your pain and maximize your body's performance and function. Good Shepherd Orthopedics in Hermiston. Patients first, always.
Welcome to KVH Orthopedics, now in our newly renovated space that's modern and welcoming, with appointments available when you need them. Our state-of-the-art facility and advanced technology provide expert diagnostic and surgical care. Our team is with you every step of the way, helping you get back to the life you love. Experience the next level of orthopedic care at KVH. Schedule your appointment today. Kittitas Valley Healthcare, your home for health.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, we want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our patients. It's been a pleasure to serve you and to improve your smiles. So, from all of us to you and yours, happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas.
When a chaotic police chase ended at the Tri-Cities Airport, only Apple Valley News Now was there.
Austin Reed out here live.
Live on our Facebook page.
Police told me this is fentanyl.
Then later reported on our evening shows. Apple Valley News Now, first with breaking news.
Next live, Fran Drescher from Marty Sabrine. And it's Eat, Drink, and Be Merry Week with the Gelman family.
I can't believe Gelman is allowing this much seasoning in his food.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Just another check-in on passes. I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass. It's snowy or slushy, no chains required. And then for US Highway 12 at White Pass, compact snow traction tires are advised. And then for, we'll take you over to Oregon 204 at tollgate, spots of ice and traction tires are advised. Of course, these pass conditions are going to slip downhill throughout the course of the day and throughout the course the next 5 days. All right, we go from the mountains down to the rivers in lower elevations. We're still expecting that minor flood stage to be reached for the Natchez River at Natchez and for the Yakima River at Kiona. So for the Natchez River, the minor flooding is already going on right now. That's going to wrap up around 4 p.m. this afternoon. And so there will be minor flooding near Natchez, Eshbach Park, Painted Rock in the north end of Yakima. And then for the Yakima River near Kiona, so this would impact Benton City, also West Richland. There will be minor flooding of pastures and roads adjacent to the river, especially in low-lying areas of West Richland. So again, these impacts aren't going to be zero, but they're not going to be as high as what we were seeing last week. Okay, the same cannot be said for the Cascades. Just tons and tons and tons of snow we're expecting from this morning through Tuesday morning of next week at the very least. So I'll time this out with Futurecast. I'll show you the specifics of how much snow we're expecting and a little bit of ice in the mix for today as well. So I'll talk about all that coming up in a few minutes.
Talking sports at 6:40 this morning. The Kamiakin High School boys basketball team started their season off with a strong 4-1 record.
With 5 seniors on the team, their sense of urgency leaves the team determined to make the state tournament. The Braves last made the state tournament in 2022, and the senior leaders on the team currently weren't even in high school yet.
Kamiakin making a conscious effort this season to make sure they can reach their expectations.
There's goals for the upcoming weekend and there's goals for the season, and the kids sat down and we talked about the goals we wanted to accomplish, and you know, as we talked about, you know, then you got to strive towards those every single day in practice. Kids have been working really hard, and you know, you can't always control whether or not the ball goes in the hoop, but you know what, the one thing they have controlled is their effort and their attitude. It's been awesome.
Now this weekend will be an important one for the Braves. They play back-to-back games on the road against conference opponents. Chiawana on Friday, taking on Hanford Saturday.
And over in Seattle, the Kraken have built their success around a solid defense.
Now this morning, Jake Gable profiles the man who has become the backbone of their blue line and a historical figure for the franchise, Vince Dunn.
The Kraken Player Profile, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Defenseman Vince Dunn has been a foundational star for the Seattle Kraken since the 2021 expansion draft. In the Kraken's inaugural season, Dunn made history, scoring the franchise's first home goal. He then transformed his game in the 2022-23 campaign, setting career highs with 14 goals and 64 points. This offensive surge earned him an NHL All-Star selection and was key to powering the Kraken to their first ever playoff appearance. Dunn is a mobile two-way blue liner known for moving the puck and joining the rush. After his breakout, he signed a 4-year, $29 million extension, cementing his role as a team leader. While he stars in Seattle, Dunn knows what it takes to win. He is a Stanley Cup champion from his time with the St. Louis Blues in 2019. Now in his 4th season, Vince Dunn remains one of the league's most effective and impactful defensemen. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
And he is a player for all situations who brings exceptional value to every shift.
And you can see him work his magic tonight when the Kraken takes on the Calgary Flames. Catch that game right here at 6 p.m., which means we'll only have a 5 p.m. newscast tonight.
All right, good programming note. Well, coming up still here this morning on Good Morning Northwest, your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. Giving you a live look outside from right here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert. He's going to break down your full first alert forecast, talking about not only what we can expect here locally, but also if you're making your way over the mountains.
With all the excitement of the holiday season, getting into an auto accident is something you can do without. So remember to buckle up, drive safely, no texting, and please don't drink and drive. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Here at the clinic, we stay up to date on the latest research and we offer cutting-edge therapies. We treat a number of different conditions, specifically Parkinson's disease, stroke recovery, traumatic brain injury, fibromyalgia, diabetes. We also treat folks dealing with cognitive decline due to aging.
We all have dreams and ideas about how life is going to be, and then life happens, and it's not necessarily what we pictured. So how do we deal with that? I've lived with multiple sclerosis for years. It's realizing that it's all one system. How do you reset your goals so that you can live a happy, healthy life even with chronic illness? And I can attest, yes, you can. My life is incredibly happy.
We first start by improving oxygen utilization in the cells because healthy cells are well oxygenated. We then work towards improving areas of the brain that are inefficient, and for this we use a number of different modalities. We offer oxygen contrast therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, transcranial photobiomodulation, and our latest addition, brain high-intensity interval training.
We also build a schedule for the patient that makes it easy to adapt their game plan to their lives and the therapies they do inside the clinic. To get started, call 509-783-5465 and schedule an appointment with a client advocate today.
In our house, love comes in little bites.
Mom, you do this every time.
Quality control. Memories are made in the kitchen. Find the right appliance to make more of them at Fred's.
All GE appliances are on sale, like this GE fridge, now only $14.99. That's a savings of $1,100. Stop by your local Fred's appliance today and shop the region's largest Get It Today inventory. We sell appliances, only appliances.
From our family at Scott Smith State Farm, serving the Tri-Cities for over 15 years with our 2 locations in Kennewick and 1 in Yakima. We wish you joy, peace, and prosperity this holiday season. Merry Christmas from all of us at Scott Smith State Farm.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, click on Volunteers Count under the Contest tab at applevalleynewsnow.com.
With all the excitement of the holiday season, getting into an auto accident is something you can do without. So remember to buckle up, drive safely, no texting, and please don't drink and drive. This holiday message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Happy holidays from Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yep, folks, we could have 40 whole inches of snow for our Cascade passes over the next 5 days. Here's why. We have multiple storm systems lined up in the Pacific. It's just going to bring one round after the other, and it's already doing that for this morning. Steady snowfall now in the Cascades, the same thing for our Blue Mountains, and we're continuing to watch the valleys very closely. It looks like just light rainfall right now in the Yakima Valley. Looks like any sort of precip is having a hard time making it down to the Kittitas Valley floor. So we'll continue watching that very closely. Let's put this into motion with Futurecast radar, and it's just going to be a constant onslaught of moisture all throughout the day. Good day to keep it inside. A good day to have that Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app on hand. But you notice as the day progresses, less and less blue on the map. That's as snow levels come up. So the mode of precip is going to change from snow in the mountains to perhaps some freezing rain. We'll talk about that in a second. That little uptick in snow levels is going to be short-lived. They'll start to drop again into tonight. We'll have more snow into Friday morning. And watch the Cascades all throughout the day on Friday. Just round after round after round of snowfall. And that's going to make our passes pretty lazy. So here are some of the here are some of the ice totals we're expecting from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Thursday around a glaze, if not a little bit more, for our Cascade passes. So if you're driving over the passes for today, if you see it just looks wet, assume that it's not wet, but assume that it's icy. Okay, here's some of the snowfall totals from this morning through Sunday afternoon. Around 30 inches of snow for Cascade passes during that time, 12 inches for Tollgate, 11 inches for Blewett Pass, and that just gets us through Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon through Tuesday morning, maybe another foot of snow for our Cascade passes. So Snoqualmie Pass, White Pass, Blewett Pass, even Sadius Pass, but especially the first 3 I just listed are going to be zero fun to travel over the next 5 days. So have the tire chains, have the winter safety kit ready to go. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Rain likely today, less so for Friday and Saturday, then wet again by Sunday. In Yakima, perhaps a wintry mix before 10 a.m., then maybe a chance of freezing rain overnight. In Ellensburg, several chances of snow over the next week, although accumulations will likely be less than an inch. For Hermiston, many chances of wet weather over the coming days as we gradually trend cooler. And finally, for Walla Walla, rain likely today and Friday, a bit drier by Saturday, but wetter again on Sunday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
We're coming, hang tight, okay? And this morning's GMA First Look, you're watching the dramatic body camera video showing the moment Illinois police officers race to save 3 people trapped in a frozen pond.
I've been here for about 9 years now, and I've never seen anything like this before.
With record low 1-degree temperature, Glendale Heights police responding to reports that a car crashed into the frigid waters outside of Chicago. Officers Dennis Strachura and Marco Lemibau braving the freezing water, making their way across icy terrain, even using shovels to help the victims stay afloat. And this morning, those brave heroes are speaking to GMA.
We knew we needed to do everything and anything to get those people out of the water and make sure that they get out of there alive.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on this high-stakes ice rescue. With your GMA First Look, I'm Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York. All right.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now, I have Skyrizi.
I've got places to go and I'm feeling free. Controlling the Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
And now, I'm back in the picture. Skyrizi is the only IL-23 inhibitor proven to help achieve remission, meaning few to no symptoms in just 4 weeks for some people. Many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help visibly repair damage of the intestinal lining.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Now's the time to take control of your Crohn's. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 6:51. It's time for your morning sprint. We start with your national headlines. President Donald Trump addressed the nation last night, touting what he considers his accomplishments this year. He repeatedly blamed his predecessor and Democrats for the country's woes. He also announced holiday bonuses for members of the military. He addressed affordability concerns by claiming prices were down, although consumer price index reports have shown a recent increase. Trump also spoke about health care as average Obamacare premiums are set to more than double. He reiterated an idea that does not extend related subsidies.
6:51 of your business headlines this morning. These historic pieces of copper were worth much more than their weight in gold. The last pennies to ever be minted in the U.S. just sold for more than $16 million. According to the auction company Stack's Bowers Gallery in California, among the items that were up for grabs, sets of 3 coins, a 2025 penny, a 24-karat gold penny from the Philadelphia Mint, and a 2025 penny from the Denver Mint. More than 230 of these packages were sold for an average of $72,000 each. One set went for $800,000. Talking sports at 6:52 this morning, a big prediction has been made as to which team will win a college football bowl game in Memphis. Cincinnati Bearcats are the pick over Navy for the Liberty Bowl to be played in a couple of weeks, and that is according to that big guy you just saw there, a resident of the Memphis Zoo, Asali the elephant. The zoo held a prediction ceremony, and a patient from St. Jude Children's Hospital was also on hand to give Asali a treat after the prediction. Liberty Bowl kicks off January 2nd. Now, the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Emergency officials say conditions in the Yakima Valley are beginning to stabilize after days of high winds and rising rivers. The director of emergency management says the response phase is winding down. Now crews are moving into recovery. More than 4,000 power outages still being addressed and at least 4 homes damaged by the wind. Rivers are expected to crest again later this week, and officials say it could take several weeks to fully assess the damage. Water levels in the reservoirs have increased, but it's still unclear if it will be enough to avoid another year of drought.
General Counsel for Ben Franklin Transit says an independent investigation is now underway after concerns were raised by employees regarding leadership and workplace culture. The agency says it's taking those concerns seriously and is reviewing them under the established policies. Officials say they are focused on improving communication, reinforcing conduct standards, and ensuring employees have multiple ways to raise concerns without fear of retaliation. No timeline has been released for when the investigation will be completed.
The Port of Benton has approved its 2026 budget, projecting a surplus while lowering the property tax levy for the 8th straight year. Officials say the plan focuses on maintaining existing assets while investing in key infrastructure like airports, rail facilities, and industrial properties. Many projects are supported by state and federal grants, with port funds used as matching dollars. Leaders say the goal is long-term economic growth while keeping taxes low.
Congressman Dan Newhouse announcing yesterday he will not be seeking re-election in 2026, ending more than a decade representing Central Washington. The Republican lawmaker says this choice comes with no regrets and that it was simply just time. Newhouse won re-election last year. He has served at the federal, state, and local levels. Attention now turns to who will run for the open seat in 2026. And a newly formed nonprofit called the Tri-City Alliance for the Unhoused is working to provide safe overnight shelter for people experiencing homelessness. Organizers say their immediate focus is finding suitable property or buildings to make the project possible. The group is separate from church-based efforts and hopes to create a structured, supportive environment. Leaders say community support and cooperation from local governments will be critical to the project's success. Trending now this morning, Southwest Airlines is jumping on the 6-7 trend.
Who isn't? Airline offering $67 flights for basic economy tickets, calling it the trendiest sale ever. Deal applies to Tuesday and Wednesday domestic flights between January 6th and March 4th for some destinations.
It's only like 6 to 7 weeks behind, but the fares won't be available for all flights during some busy travel times and holidays. Tickets have to be purchased by December 18th.
6-7 is a phrase used mainly by kids and teens. Nobody can explain exactly what it means, but almost everybody has heard it. We've all said it.
Yep.
Here on the newscast.
Yes, we
did
have.
it the other day.
6-7. Yeah, the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, they're like an average 6 to 7.
Jade is also 12 and a kid and a teen.
It's happened to me during the weather before. Like, yeah, the Cascade's going to get 6 to 7 inches. This is 6 to 7 days out. This can change. It's like, oh, my brain
It's just been ingrained.
Gets you every time.
Yeah,
I know.
And you have been busy. Your brain's been kind of all over the place with all this active weather we're seeing.
If we were just getting 6 to 7 inches of snow in the Cascades, I would consider that I would be on vacation over there. We're getting a few more multiples of that. So let's go ahead and first we'll talk about the wind gusts. Listen, if you get our signal down in Ukiah, Oregon, and southern Umatilla County, the winds are blowing right now to the south, up around 40 miles per hour. But for the rest of us, the wind's not that impressive. That'll definitely change a little bit later today. This morning, we're in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 20s for the Cascades, 30s for the Blues. And there's steady snowfall this morning for the Cascades and for the Blues. And we're paying very close attention to the valleys. It looks like just a light cold rainfall right now in the Yakima Valley, and not much making it down to the valley floor in the Kittitas Valley for the time being. Your umbrella cast for this Thursday for the Tri-Cities, you'll pretty much need the umbrella all throughout the day. So it's just going to be one of those days. For today, for lower elevations, 40s and 50s, again, could have that wintry mix mainly before 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the valleys. Your big weather stories, not 6 to 7 inches of snow, but 40 inches of snow for a Cascade passes over the next 5 days. Have the tire chains, have the winter safety kit ready to go. Also, we'll get a little bit gusty for today and tonight, and we're still monitoring the river flooding potential very closely.
Wasn't 41 a thing also?
41.
41.
See, that would be more appropriate.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Good Morning America's next. We're back tonight at 5 with your local news and weather right before the Kraken game.
Have a great day.